realize now. Graph of a rational function. So this is where we're going to start describing the function and analyzing all the parts of the function. So begin, here we have a rational function, x minus 1 divided by x squared minus 9. From this graph, we can start off by identifying our asymptotes. We find our asymptotes by factoring. So notice how I factored the numerator. What factoring allows me to do is to find my domain, and my domain comes from the denominator. So what can x not be in the denominator? Well, x cannot be -3 and x cannot be +3. So there's my domain. Do you feel like you could find the domain? You believe so? By factoring and setting the factors equal to 0. Easy enough? Okay, we're going to continue. Next, because there are no common factors between the numerator and denominator, r is in its lowest term. So I can't reduce it. I can't find if one's a whole. So because there isn't any wholes, that means I have asymptotes. I don't want all of that yet. So I'm going to stay on this page. Okay. So my asymptote. So first I can find my vertical asymptotes. My vertical asymptotes come from the denominator. So my vertical asymptotes are at what I cannot equal. So vertical asymptotes are at x equals -3 and x equals +3. So those are my VAs. And they're asymptotes, not wholes, because it's in its simplest form, right? Nothing was removed, nothing was taken away. That's why it's an asymptote. Then I determine whether it's a horizontal asymptote or oblique or neither. Okay. So looking at the degree of the original problem, the degree of the numerator is what? 1. The degree of the denominator is 2. So n is less than d. What does that mean? Exactly. My horizontal asymptote is at y equals 0. So without graphing, I've been able to identify my domain, my vertical asymptote, and my horizontal asymptote. Do you feel like that those are things you could do? If the numerator is less than the denominator, then it's horizontal with y equals 0. Cool?
I was going to say that. I didn't pause it because we finished our lesson.
Joe. How am I supposed to go back?
I'm recording now. All right, really quick. I don't even know what it stopped at. So yeah, we found the factors, the domain and the vertical asymptote came from the denominator. The numerator degree was less than the denominator degree. So the horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. And then we found our intercepts. To find our y-intercept, we substituted 0 in because 0 was part of our domain. And when we substituted in, we ended up with 0 and 1, 9. And then to find our x-intercept, we use the numerator because that's the only place where we can set it equal to 0 and it be valid. So we had x minus 1 equals 0. So x equals 1. So our x-intercept was at 1, 0. And that was cool because 1 was part of our domain. And this is just a further explanation of all that, just with a lot of words. And then we can see that we were so smart and we did it correct. And our horizontal asymptote is going to cross and it's going to be all good. And bam. Okay, I think I got it all in there. So hopefully that helps. I don't know. As you listen, did that help make sense? Okay, cool. Then it's recorded. And then there's a summary of all the things we found.
I'm gonna look back at that and be like, none of it's gonna make any sense.
Y'all just told me it did. All right, so here's a better sketch of it. So as you notice here, when we're talking about in behaviors and how to draw it out. So if you're drawing this out, you're looking at the asymptotes and seeing how it's changing from left to right. When I'm looking at this, I see that if I choose test points, if I plug in a value to the left, like -4, and I get a negative, then I know that that's where my asymptote is beginning, okay? My function is beginning and follow the asymptotes. You're literally just following the asymptotes as your guide. All right, so the summary of analyzing, this is kind of like just the gist of breaking down and summarizing on how to analyze the function. So you're gonna factor, you're gonna lowest terms, and yeah. So we will pick up here mañana after our quiz.